Hey, what's up everyone? I decided to do some cooking today for all of you. I have been living with food allergies since my earliest memories, and I decided to pour myself a glass of kombucha in a fancy glass because it always tastes better in a fancy glass. Kombucha is great for my gut health. It just helps me keep the gut biome balanced, and that's really important because energy is related, your gut is your first brain, and we just want to really take care of and nourish our bodies. And for me, holidays can be kind of a difficult time when you go to someone else's house and you have food allergies. Sometimes the holidays, honestly, is a time that I dread when it comes to food. It's just easier, and I'm more happy when I cook my own food. And what I'm going to do today is show you something that I eat like 5 times plus a week. It's been something that I've been doing since I was 13 years old, and it's a great way for me to get, in a sense, a spring roll, because I used to love eating Chinese food, but it always really hurt my stomach. I'm gluten intolerant and I'm lactose intolerant, and I do have a bunch of kind of random off the wall, I think, allergies, but I'm gonna go through what I love today and one of my absolute favorite recipes. I think that you guys are really going to enjoy what I have to make for you. So if you've just recently discovered that you have food allergies, or you're looking to make a change in your life and you just want to feel better, I highly recommend that you eliminate gluten and lactose. Maybe even reach out to an allergist and do a skin allergy test. I was incredibly surprised to learn right before I got married last October in 2019 that I was allergic to garlic and vanilla and peppers and lemon. And I'll kind of explain more of that at another time, but couldn't have pinpointed those types of things on top of what I had learned the hard way and just kind of nailed down myself. But this again is just a fun recipe, and I hope that you guys really enjoy what I have to make for you today. Okay, so what I have here are spring roll wrappers. I really love this Blue Dragon brand. I get this at Whole Foods, but you can order it through Amazon. I've tried a couple different brands and types of Vietnamese spring rolls over the years. Again, I've been making this since I was 13. I kind of came up with it myself. And so a lot of trial and error. And I'm looking to improve it. There's many ways that you can make this your own. But this particular wrap has rice flour, tapioca flour, water, and salt, and that's it. And it is no added colors, flavors, preservatives, gluten-free. It's vegan, and each pack, it contains 14 to 16 sheets. So I've tried a couple other brands, and they have xanthan gum in them and cassava flour. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I really struggle with both of those. And I know that is something on the market. There's a lot of chips. This is like an alternative grain that's really popular, but I have really struggled with it, and I decided to stay away from it. And again, xanthan gum seems to show up in a lot of things today, and I would really caution anyone that has either a corn allergy or a dairy allergy when consuming xanthan gum, because it's basically like a dead bacteria that feeds off of the leftover processes of either corn or lactose or dairy, as I understand it, and so it doesn't label like which one it is, and so it's kind of a slippery slope for those of you who are really sensitive and really trying to pin down what it is that's bothering your stomach, maybe creating an unwanted weight gain or inflammation, just fatigued. There's a lot of different symptoms, and I'll go through those again. Just keep following along. I'm really excited to share my allergy and lifestyle journey. Okay, so step 1, welcome to my house, by the way, happy holidays. I get a really big bowl, and then I have chopped up, this is a big heaping 2 cups of chopped up romaine lettuce, organic lettuce. And then what I've also done is, this is 2 cups of chopped up cabbage. And to soften the cabbage, what I so highly suggest is for you to put it onto the stove, add it to into a saucepan with water, and boil it to soften it, and that will help it just cook better, and it will help your body start to break down the cabbage. Okay, so I've added that to the bowl, and then I have a cup of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I'm gonna dump that in there. Rice cauliflower, and then this is 2 cups. This is 1 cup of chopped green onions. And then this is 1 cup of chopped cooked beets. Okay, so I've got that all into the bowl, and what I'm going to do now is I have pre-prepared cooked quinoa. So this is a half of cup of dry quinoa, and it's about 2 cups of cooked quinoa. And so I really love quinoa. I think it's a superfood. It is great. It's like a gut scrubber, and this is not a carb-free meal here. The spring wrappers actually have quite a few carbs in them. However, the fiber that is in the quinoa helps balance it out, and it subtracts the overall carbs that you'll get. So basically this is like a negative to the positive carb. Thank you so much for sticking with me so far, and I have the mixture here. I'm just mixing it up. We've got cauliflower, we've got beets, we've got chickpeas, we've got romaine lettuce, we've got cabbage, we've got carrots in that mix that was in there with onions. You can add kale, you can add chopped broccoli. There's really not any wrong way to do it. And you can even chop up bigger pieces like this, just kind of mix it around. And then also what I like to do is add in pink Himalayan sea salt. You can just sprinkle it in there, decide how much you want. Some of my non-allergy sharing friends have told me that this is very bland. But if you live a lifestyle of allergy awareness, if you have allergies, if you would love to eat all of that fun food, but it's just not worth it, this is for you. And even if you don't have food allergies, you might be surprised at what you could come up with using this. So I hope this is for everyone. I'm going to finish mixing this in, and I'm also going to finish mixing in organic onion powder. I am a huge fan of thyme. I love thyme. And I also love the Simply Organic brand. I get that at Whole Foods. And if you're adventurous, you can put a little bit of cayenne in your mixture, but I'm a wimp. I don't really do well with peppers, and I don't really do with spicy stuff. So I'm going to skip that, but AJ is a fan of that. So sometimes I'll mix that in, or I'll mix in like a separate batch for him. So make it your own. I'm going to finish mixing that up, and then we're going to get ready for step part 2. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to get another large bowl, and you're going to fill it with water, and you're going to heat it up either in the microwave, or you can get a large saucepan and just heat that up on the stove top. Just be careful. And that's going to be important because you want to soften the spring wrapper rolls before you put the contents mixture that we've created into the spring wrapper roll. And then also before we do that, we want to get our oil for when we cook it. Like I said earlier, the oven is preheated to 425, and 100% pure avocado oil is my favorite. Check it out. This is from Chosen Foods, and it is expeller pressed, and it is naturally refined. So that's good news because there's not any harsh chemicals in it. I have a really hard time with oils, especially those that are not organic and expeller pressed, because they go through an incredibly chemical process to get that little bit of oil out of what we're trying to do to get it to create this. So that's just a side tip, but this is my favorite. It's also great for high heat, and it's good for up to 500 degrees. So that's perfect for us. What we're going to do is put a little bit on this cooking sheet. I have parchment paper on here, and it is unbleached parchment paper. It eliminates the need to grease baking pans, which is why I love it, because it makes cleaning up so easy. So let's sprinkle a little bit of this on there. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bowl of water. We've got our rice wrappers. Okay, you're going to dip those into the water. Soften one. The water's pretty warm. And you're gonna lay it flat on the cutting board here. Just like this setup right here. I'm going to take the tongs and I'm going to put that in the middle there. about that much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it up. So fold it in half, fold the corners in, corners, just like that. Squeeze the contents in and roll it up. And then it looks like this. You could eat it like this also. You don't have to put the oil on there. This is perfectly good to eat. However, I want it to be crispy like a spring roll, and I also want it to be a little bit more broken down, a little warmer, because it's just a little bit softer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that and you're going to run it through the oil, and you're going to start setting up your cookie pan here. And while that one's laying flat, you can get another one started. Let's put that one in the water and just kind of get it started. And put that in there. We like to use warm water. It softens it. The warmer the water, the faster it's going to soften it. When the water starts to cool down, they start to get a little bit more difficult to kind of like fold together. You've got to wait longer time. Okay, so the wrap, let's go through that again. We're going to take one of the paper wraps, okay? We're going to dip it into the water. It's warm to hot water, and we're gonna soften it. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to soften. You're gonna pull it out of the water. You're gonna lay it flat on the board, and then you're going to take a scoopful, place it in the center. It'll start to kind of set up. If it's a little bit rigid, just give it a little bit more time for the water to set and kind of soften it. What you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. You can kind of slide it down if you want to. Fold the corners in and then roll it up. Okay, one more time. Grab the rice wrapper. Make sure not to press it into there because you'll crack it, and it makes it more difficult to work with the rice wrappers if they're cracked. So they are fragile when they are not wet and softened. Okay, again in the middle. Scoop that. Have any beets in that scoop? There we go. Okay. Fold it in half. Kind of scoop it down to that. Side in, corner in, roll up. Just like that. And then you're gonna slide it into the oil. Roll it. So I have a whole pan here. I've put the avocado oil on here. Olive oil isn't as good because it doesn't do well in the super high temperatures like baking, but avocado oil does. And you kind of just turn these and coat them. They're already kind of starting to get set up a little bit sticky, and then we're going to stick them into the oven. So I've just put our spring rolls in the oven, and I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Oftentimes I will let it go an extra 5 minutes after the timer has gone off, but 30 minutes is safe at 425 because everyone's oven kind of cooks a little bit differently. I have them on the bottom rack, and I'm super excited. Tomorrow I can do it again, or I can wait a day and then I can make more wraps and I don't have to start the whole process all over. This is also really great for like taco filler mix, salads. You already basically have it made. You can mix pasta in there. It's just as nice to have this big bowl always in the fridge made, and so I always have a bowl just like this made up in my fridge. Okay, so the wraps have come out of the oven. They smell so good. They are incredibly hot. They're crispy, and they are just the way that I like them. So check that out. Very hot. I don't know about you, but I'm super hungry. It turned out so well, and I love to dip the wraps in apple cider vinegar. I consume probably about 3 to 5 ounces a day of apple cider vinegar. It's really great for taste, but also it's great for your kidneys. I don't know about you guys, but this tastes amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing about you guys trying this recipe out, finding ways to make it your own. And yeah, just keep after it. If you've got food allergies, don't give up. Continue to try new foods. Reach out to those who have food allergies. And remember that God is greater than your highs and lows. Take care.